He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him, and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Meenakshi Mishra.
ॐ सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तु ते। ॐ ह्लीं 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 बगलामुखी देवीभ्ये नमः। ॐ पृथिवी शान्ति अंतरिक्ष शान्ति सर्वं शान्तिः। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि। So good evening everyone, and good morning to our family on the other side of the ocean. So as we all know, like on this day, today is celebrated as Bagalamukhi Jayanti as well. So that is a very, very auspicious, very powerful day. So may the grace of the goddess be there on you and your family. May she keep you away from the harm's way and bless you in the best possible things that she has for you in this world and in the other world as well. Hleem, 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 Bagalamukhi Namah. So here we are with the Q&A session again. And I see Deepika ji already raised her hand. So let's begin the Q&A.
Pranam Mahadev.
Pranam Deepika ji.
Am I audible clearly?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Actually, I had like a couple of small questions, Mahadev.
Okay.
And one of them is like, when we actually do certain sadhana of a devi or a devta and continuously, like when you say certain experiences of Babaji or other people, as we all know, she worships the Lord Krishna a lot, and she has seen pretty good examples of that he resides there and like that.
Okay.
So, is every god like that they leave traces of their presence, or is it only Krishna who is, because he being playful, does he do that, or what is it like? Because
Okay.
certain times we don't know whether what we are doing is reaching them or not, right? So even like if we offer something to you, does it reach you? मानसिक वे.
Okay. So that's where I can say, like, how do I know, like, how am I
How do
putting
we
those
get to
weights?
acknowledge?
No, the question is, how do I keep on getting weight without eating much? So that's the secret, I can say, like, what's happening to me.
Not
So
just
I
the
didn't
food
know actually,
aspect,
you
Madhu.
people are revealing that secret to me. I just keep on wondering why this weight is gaining. I
Not the
don't know,
food
like some
aspect,
people are
Madhu.
feeding that mansik weight reaching or not. My weight can tell a better thing on that. But coming to your question, Divya ji, if you look at every deity, see, they always, one thing that we call is Leela, right? That's a divine play.
Yeah.
So the divine plays in very, very different ways and different, and based on the way they do the Leela, they are known as that kind of gods, isn't it? If you look
Yeah.
at Shiva, or if you look at the entire creation, what he says is, Shiva himself says that it is a prapancha. It's an entire drama. So when a drama is going on, you can say there is a very strong personality in the drama, there is a weak personality in the drama. Whatever personality it is all part of drama or not. So that means when we are talking of prapancha, when we are talking of drama, when we are talking about Leela, every god does that. Or else, how come people actually experience them so close to themselves? But the best thing is, if you really look at how to get close or really get an glimpse of them in that playful ways, to become a childlike thing. If you become like childlike, that would be a pretty easy thing to do. And then you would like to see majority of the people have lot of experiences with Krishna, and especially with Bal Gopal. So as a kid, he does, when you look at him as a kid, he does mischievous things like a kid. The same thing happens with Batuk Bhairav. And that's how people's experience with it is also is like that. It's just like you being playful along with them and they becoming like that, a child like with you. So that becomes a pretty easy thing to experience. Okay, then uh, every deity that you name it, they have shown us some or other experience of their existence to people. So that happens, but the only thing is, whom are you worshipping? What's the intent? And of
अगर
course,
कोई इंटेंट ही ना हो किसी का, मतलब
okay,
like we don't keep asking for things when we sit in
yeah,
front of them, like continuously. We don't do that, Namade. Like
right.
deliberately, every day we don't sit in front of God and ask for something. Like कोई इंटेंट भी नहीं हो सकता है, खाली साधना करना है या पूजा करना है, वही इंटेंट होता है, तो तब
Okay,
क्या
so
होता है?
still that's good enough, right? And rather, just think of something like somebody comes to your house, asks every day some or other thing from you. And you give it, okay, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, keep on giving. After some days, what will happen? You'll try to say, रोज मांगने आता है, थोड़ा हट जाओ यहाँ से. Let's take a break. That's how we generally humans think, right? Even if you
Yes.
just look at that kind of logic, when somebody is sitting, not out of need, not out of requirement, not out of any desire, not out of any thing to ask for, what could be a better way of sitting and doing the worship?
Yeah, Mahadev, I'm only asking like how do we experience, like हर एक का वो एक्सपीरियंस करने करने का टॉलरेंस होता है या नहीं होता है, कौन
Yeah.
सा चीज पे डिपेंड करता है. और
Okay.
अगर एक एक पूजा ही हो या किसी के घर में जाते हैं, तो कुछ कुछ लोगों को ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस होता है कि उनको वहां तुरंत डिविनिटी दिखती है, या ऐसे बोलते हैं, पता नहीं, क्योंकि
Mhm.
उनका बोलना है वो जो सच है या झूठ है मैं पता नहीं.
Mhm.
अगर कोई ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा है,
Mhm.
तो कौन से स्तर पे कर रहा होगा, लाइक कैसे पता चलेगा कि वहां पे कुछ डिविनिटी है?
Yes.
कैसे एक्सपीरियंस
It
करते हैं? अगर
it
एक्सपीरियंस करना है तो हमारी स्थिति कैसे होनी चाहिए?
correct. Absolutely. So understanding this into I'll talk it in a very raw way, and it has two different ways to look at it. One, Is it real or is it drama? One thing. Let me speak as is and you take it as is. Okay? Experiencing divinity in reality and you might have seen so many people making noises, shouting, jumping around. You must have seen them also, right? And then there are people, those who say that jo savari aati hai, like they say like the goddess comes to them.
Yes.
When a goddess will come, I have to understand one thing is the vessel capable enough to handle that energy? Got it? Let's say, I don't say that the power of the goddess does not come. It comes. But the moment they say, I am that energy, and now she is doing this and doing that, and you bring me this and you bring me that, that very moment you should be very careful, because goddess, what she does not have, that she will come and ask you. And that to ask you for this and that. Now look at this very carefully. You will notice a very typical thing. Don't take it in any other way, but I have to bring it into reality, into light. That's why I speak. How many times you have seen like females get those kind of things more? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. If you look at those females very carefully, especially their life, you will realize one very typical thing. These will be the people, those who seek attention. These are the people, those who have been ignored. These are the people, they might not be great looking. In order to grab the attention, they will do all these things. It's a very sad part. Look at it again and you will understand what I'm saying. Because if they do this, they get easy attention. I still remember we were in, where was this? Saptashati. No, Saptashringi. We were there in Saptashringi and there was a huge line of people standing there. And then even I was walking in the line. There was no need to push through or went off. So there is a huge line of, let's say, 300-400 people in the queue. Okay. There's suddenly one female from the down. She started shouting, ah, and they started running and people gave her way. She came running, and just sat and just started dancing around. Now, what would I call all these things? Are you pure enough that the divine energy floats in you? Are you powerful enough to hold that energy in you? What I can say is the vessel, just a second, yeah. The vessel can contain the image of the sun, not the sun.
Yeah.
So similarly, when you are doing all these things, but there are specific places where these things happen very easily and you cannot deny that. It's just like if I go and touch a live wire current, will I get shock?
Yes.
Everybody will get that. Depending on what kind of conductor you are, in the sense, if I put my hand, I'll get a shock. But if I'm holding a iron rod, then also I'll get a shock. But if I have a wood in my hand, will I get the shock? No. So it's all about becoming aware and becoming receptive of that energy also. So when you see certain people start getting into that kind of zone, first and foremost thing, it happens in a very simplified way, or rather, there is a process that I will be teaching this Sunday, but I will not allow you to do online, because if you do that online, there will be a very difficult to control also. You will experience it within a minute's time. Whatever you are asking, You can experience the same thing within a minute to 2 minutes time, not more than that. You will go get into that zone. But the problem would be if I am sitting here and if you are not able to control, then what?
Hmm.
Okay. So there are ways to get those into spaces. What happens is another thing that happens. That is a part of the people, those who are just doing a drama. Okay. But there are sadhaks. There are true divine beings. What do you think? A God will come and show that he is there? He has to prove you? Or he just comes and
Not
sits so
necessarily.
quietly? It will sit so quietly, calmly that among you, and even you will never realize that it is there. What it will do, it has to give you something, it will give you in silence. It does not
Hmm.
make noise while giving. Have you heard that? So that's where it comes into play, Deepika ji. We have to be very careful because sometimes what happens is another thing that I have noticed is a weak mind,
Hmm.
a mind that is not controllable, a mind that does not has a control capacity of things. What happens then? Just like when you start listening to a music and the music is very rhythmic, you start tapping your feet, you start dancing.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Hmm.
For some people, those kind of music and those kinds of, when it becomes so intense, it gets into a mental level, not just as a physical level, but at a mental level. And then when it starts dancing, what happens? It looks like the divine is starting to dance.
Hmm.
But always remember one thing. Even if the divine appears, it will never showcase itself in that way. हो सकता है वो बहुत शांत होकर बैठ जाए. For example, you might have heard of Shardama, right? Shardama in the sense Ramakrishna Paramahans. Ramakrishna Paramahans would see that goddess herself is standing in front of her in that way. And that Devi, even if you, that is said, like if she speaks, even you have to listen very carefully what she is speaking. But
Hmm.
her talks were so deep in conversation that a single utterance of the word can change your life. So that's where I'm saying, if a divine is coming and dancing and jumping around, it might be a duta, means a sahachari, one who is just arriving to see like what's happening, what's going on.
Hmm.
वो level तक हो सकता है. Then you have these a little bit lower rung of energies. I don't say bad or good energy, I say lower rung of energies. Those who are experimentative. Just like people say they are possessed by something, right? So these kind of ghostly things, or a little bit above that also, what they do, they want to experiment. They want to even experience what a human is experiencing. Just like you go to different kind of, so let's say you are going into a roller coaster ride. Why do you go into a roller coaster ride? You just want to sit there and experience what that feels like. Then in that case also, certain times there are energies, if you have a very low energy, they will actually come over, they take over the body. It does not mean that you are out of that body. You are there, and but their power is overpowering over you. So in that cases also, those kind of energy come, and but your body is acquainted to one kind of energy of yours. Now another kind of energy is entering into it. What would happen? It starts shaking, it starts moving, it starts making noise. At times it becomes so difficult to even control your own self that you make noises, you make sounds. I still remember there was this lady that came to my home, and I was around like 9 or 10 years at that time. So my father was taking care of, because she was very powerful. A single lady might be not a weight more than 55-60 kgs. 8 people were not able to control her. In that case, you can clearly realize that that is not a human power. It is a power that is beyond the human capacity. How can 8 men cannot control a 55-60 kg weight female? Every time they're catching hold of him, just doing like this, I felt like I'm watching a movie. She just pushed like this and everybody is falling off somewhere. That was the situation. And when she was caught hold of and brought, and then it was a daytime. Okay. And in the daytime, I was sitting just nearby my father and I was seeing like what is going on there. So he was asking this question to her. And when she was being asked, she says, I have changed many bodies by now, but in my past 3 janmas also, I am not getting my freedom. She has already taken 3 human births. Still, she is not able to get rid of that. Why? Because of her Prakriti. Her Prakriti is such that she has worshipped demonic energies in the past. Because of that, she has a very much, what do you say, pull towards blood. And what she said, it's like when people heard that this is this is what kind of things are these. She said she has married 3 times in this lifetime, and 3 times she has killed the 3 husbands. Let alone that, 2 kids of her own, then buffaloes and cows. Then we asked, like, how do you do that exactly? How do you? And she says, like, when everybody sleeps in the night, I just take a straw and put it somewhere on the body and start pulling the blood out of them. And I was listening to this by that side, and my father says, can you really pull that blood out of it with a straw? He says, yes. My father asks, can you do it right now? He says, yes. And in the day, there were more than 50 people looking at what's happening. We brought that rice straw, you know that? That rice katne ke baad jo straw aata yellowish color ka. So she picked up one straw, very fine straw, which is not broken. She cuts it into pieces, creates like a drinking straw. Then my father says, okay, can pull my blood from here. So she puts it just like this. Somebody takes a blood test, no? She puts a straw here and puts another part of them in the mouth and starts sucking that. She is not able to pull that blood because unka sharir kilit hai. She is not able to pull that blood. Then she says, no, it is not happening. You say, why? You can drink any blood now. You say, now why are you not able to do that? The very next moment, she says, bring somebody else. There was another person from the family. She was sitting, just put it. The very second this person is feeling as if something is going out of it. I was sitting with a scissor in my hand. You know what I did? The moment she started sucking that blood out, that I cut the straw in between and I see that blood falling from that straw. And that very moment, a tight slap went off to the other side. But the only thing that we did is after that, Devika ji, it was, and the kind of sounds he was making, you won't believe those sounds can be possible without a mic. It was as if like 10, 20 big trees falling at one time. She is doing her teeth grinding, it is sounding like that. And the breath that she is taking, you will feel as if she will engulf everybody sitting there. That kind of space it is. But finally, what we did, we managed to bring her out. Then finally, during one of my sadhanas, she got her path back home. So those kind of energies exist, Deepika ji. It's all depends. Everything is a flow. Everything is an energy. Everything is a vibration. We all understand that, right? It's all about, like, when you enter into water, you feel something different. When you are in the land, you feel something different. When you go to higher altitude, you feel different. Yes or no? So these energy fields are there. And when people are able to experience certain things in their lives, no, it happens. One is bhakti. इसमें बड़ी शक्ति होती है, इसमें भगवान को बुलाया जा सकता है, इसमें भगवान को लाया जा सकता है. What happens is when you start completely dissolving into the divine, not to show, but just to dissolve. When you start dancing, and especially when you're just closing your eyes and you're not looking what people are thinking of you and you're dancing, कैसा लगता है? कुछ मंत्र नहीं है, सिर्फ आप हरे कृष्ण कह के नाचते हो, एंड देन ऑल्सो यू फील द डिवाइन अराउंड यू. यस और नो? So every time there are different kind of ways to invoke those kind of energies. Just like I can use a matchstick to ignite the fire. I can use a lighter to ignite the fire. I can rub two stones together to ignite a fire. But
Mhm.
it is possible through different aspects. And the divine actually manifests itself in such a way that the one who wants to experience it experiences it per the thing that they think to experience. In the sense, सिंप्लीफाई करके
Okay.
बताना चाहता हूं, आपके सामने आपका भगवान उसी तरीके से प्रकट होता है जिस तरीके से आप उसे देखना चाहते हो. इट appears in that way.
So for a mind that has no expectation,
Yeah,
how do they experience the divine?
that is
Be it
absolutely
Devi or Devta.
amazing. Answer
Like if
is
we go to a satsang or we go to a prayer,
hmm,
probably that particular house, they might be doing some Devi sadhana or something like that.
okay.
What I mean, if there really is, I mean, if that sadhana is right, usually Devi or Devta's presence would be there, right? Even
Mhm.
a slightest energy of her would be there. So, what form do we experience? Like, do we experience peace? That was my actual
Okay.
thing. Like,
That's
how do
actually
we feel when we step into such places?
okay. So that answer is very simple. When you say that you are able to sit in front of the divine even without asking anything,
Mm.
from where did you got that space wherein you don't even have a desire to ask? Is it not grace? Let's say if I go and if I am sitting in front of something, because that's a very common way of looking at it. The mind always thinks in having something more, something more, something more. But if you are going even without a thought, even without a desire, what stage have you acquired even at your mind level? Is a question that you should ask yourself first. Because that itself says a lot about the experience that you are having at that time. That experience looks very subtle because it is not compared to the kind of experiences that people have shared. But just think of
Mm.
if you are sitting there calm and quiet, if you are sitting there thoughtless, if you are sitting there even without a single iota of desire left in you, you just say, I don't have to ask anything. I'm just sitting here, you know it. What is that space? Is it not a grace of the divine? I think this is a better grace of the divine when it is giving you assurance in such a way that you don't have to ask anymore.
Mhm.
If you are able to accept that peace in that moment, if you are able to, as you rightly said, कभी कभी होता है ना, आप बिल्कुल कोई जगह जाते हो, आप शांत हो जाते हो, कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. You might not be experiencing intense energy, but you just feel closeness. You don't feel like whatever people are doing, you don't want to do that. You say, you keep on doing what you want to do, but I just want to sit in a corner and watch it.
Yes.
Yes or no? I say that is fulfillment. How many times we actually, let's say we are going to a temple and we are not able to enter into the temple. We are not able to
Mm.
see the deity. How many times we actually feel bad, but there are many people, those who say, तो हर जगह है, यहाँ तक ले आया यही काफी है, and they sit there only. I'll give you a best example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Mm.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Puri for 18 years. How many times, like when you visited, you have seen like how people were fighting to get inside that. But
Yes.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu staying there for 18 years, not even for a single time crossed the Garuda Stamba. Garuda Stamba means the Stamba that is inside, not the main gate outside.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
inside the temple, there is a Garuda Stamba, right? And if you remember, there was a place where you can feel the three fingers,
The fingerprints
right?
sign. Yeah.
He always used to stand there and watch these three deities. Never wanted to go there. He says,
Mm.
You brought me here, ये मेरी साधना थी. Okay? You brought me till here, it was मेरी क्षमता, मेरी साधना थी. वहां से चल के आना तेरी दया है. Did you realize what it is? I came up until this time, this place. That's what I could do. But now from coming from there to here is your grace, not my doing. And it came. One day, Deepika ji, I'll tell you one beautiful story I got stuck with. If you look at Lord Jagannath, huh? Slightly deviating, but it's a beautiful story. I think like this should be recorded. So one fine day, if you look at Lord Jagannath, whatever mala, like whatever garland is kept on Lord Jagannath, it will never be tied. It will be put across his both hands. It will go backwards and it will be left open. It is never tied actually. One fine day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was standing behind the Garuda Stamba. As usual, he closed his eyes and he was in his bhav, in his way of doing his worship, mansik star se, he is doing a puja of Lord Jagannath. And while he is doing the worship of Lord Jagannath in a mindful way, mansik taur se kar rahe, he is now sitting and creating a mala, a garland for Lord Jagannath. And while doing so, he sees like a beautiful garland has been made. Now he is about to tie a knot to the garland. That very moment, he is there, closed eyes. Jagannath Das comes. Jagannath Das, I have told many stories about Jagannath Das, where Lord Jagannath has left his chariot to meet him at the sea beach. Okay, so he comes and he says, do not tie a knot to the garland. Now he is doing it in a mansik way with his closed eyes. Now suddenly he says, don't put a knot to the garland. And he suddenly opens his eyes to see who is there. And he sees that it is Jagannath Das. And he says, why do you say so? Why should not I put a knot to the garland?
Not.
Then Jagannath Das says, we never put a knot to the garland because we cannot bind him. And as we cannot bind him, we don't bind him with the garland also. We keep the garland free. He is free to do anything he wants. When he has not completed himself with his wish, how can I complete a garland by tying a knot? So we also leave it as is halfway through because he cannot be tied with anything and we don't want to tie him. Neither by looks, neither by his food, neither by the way he is, neither by the way he graces, neither the way he does anything. He does it his own way. And that's why we call him the Manwa Thakura, means the one who does the things of his own will. उसका मन होगा तो आएगा, उसका मन नहीं होगा तो नहीं आएगा. And that's why we call him that. And here I would like to answer one thing, Deepika ji. You said मानसिक तौर से करने से पहुंचता है क्या?
मतलब
When he was doing that, how did Jagannath Das knew what is being done there? And now, who gave the idea to even Jagannath Das to tell this to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It is just a Leela. Can you see how beautifully two devotees coming together to take a part in the Leela of the divine to give you an answer so many years later? To invoke that happiness, to invoke that feeling, to invoke that devotion towards that through this simple aspect of stories. And who knows? That's why I keep on saying, share your experiences. Who knows, down the years, someday, who might not be able to realize that how the divine works, might be your stories, might be your experiences, create a pathway for them to again believe in that divine, to again get close to that God divinity. to find their path back home. Who knows? So, Deepika ji, yes, just like the moment you are sitting there with your hands like this, you know what's happening with you. It's a very simple thing. If you feel the closeness of this divine and just think of this hand that is holding you right now is the hand of the divine, then what? Just like you remember in my book I have written, is your hand touching your cheek or your cheek touching your hand? So both is happening at the same time. So similarly, is the divine touching you or you are touching the divine in this moment? Both happening the same time. It depends on what you are experiencing. If you feel and decide that my hand is touching the cheek, it will feel like that. And if you decide that the cheek is touching the hand, it will feel like that. It's not a change in the process, is the way in the consciousness moves. And if in this moment, when you are sitting, you have gone to somewhere where you see people are ecstatic, dancing, crazily shouting, and you are sitting calm and quiet, that very moment realize the divine touched them in a different way and it touched you in a different way. As simple as that. He wants me to sit and enjoy the drama, and there he wants to dance and do the drama. I can be part of anything of it. Which one do I choose? And in everything, I only will choose one thing, Deepika ji. In every aspect of my life, I will only choose one thing. I'll always choose his side because he has always chosen me. Has he not chosen you?
Yes, Mahadev.
That's what I'm saying.
Actually, it's forgetfulness that actually made me ask you this question. But as you are answering, there were moments where I experienced so many times, and yet I am here like a stupid sitting and asking you this question.
What could be a
I had
best thing?
experienced
Now just
so many
no,
times.
no, no, no. Just think of Deepika ji. How could be it a beautiful way? Sudama and all the sakhas of Krishna knew he is God. Still, they used to do stupid things with him or not. See, when you are a friend of that divine, no, stupid things also become lila. What all they did not do? That's what I'm saying. So always, always find a way to be on his side because it has always found a way to be your own side. कभी कभी हम कुछ ये कर सकते हैं, लाइक हम डाउट कर सकते हैं, हम उसको we can come with an excuse that, but he has never given an excuse because I have experienced one thing in my life. Every time I called him, it was always there. At times when he is calling, I might not be, but every time I called him, it was there. It did not said I am, oh, you have not called me for so many days, I won't show up. It shows up every moment because it has never left I leave. So the experiences of the divine is just raining right now, every moment. It's just like, you know what would you call a fish if it is thirsty despite being in the water? Then it never knew what water is. But can a fish be thirsty is the question. That devotion does to you. It makes you a fish which is surrounded by it, engulfed by it also. A fish might, when swimming in the water, might open its small little mouth to take some water inside the gills and leave it, right? Thinking like it is drinking the water, but it forgot that it is already engulfed by the water. So in our little ways, when we open our mouth to experience the divinity, we think like we are experiencing the divine in a little ways, forgetting that the divine has already engulfed us completely. We are in it. We are not just we are just taking a little bit of it and bit of it and bit of it to experience what we want to experience. But in the larger picture, we are engulfed by it.
Yes.
So in this entirety of the drama, what do you choose to be? You can choose to be anything. That's the way it is. So what do you choose today?
I have no choice, Mother.
When
Because
do you,
right now I'm not able to perceive the differentiation. I'm not able to free to make a choice.
okay.
I don't know if I'm being clear.
Then it
But
is his choice. Then leave it then. As you are sitting quietly,
yeah,
that's what I can say. Just sit quietly. What's there?
currently what I have asked, what you have told, I don't know. But everything just disappeared and I don't know what you're asking me. I'm sorry, actually, have become blank. I'm not able to recollect what you're
Engulfed.
asking me.
That's what I can say. Engulfed. You know, in certain spaces, Deepika ji, people say like, let's say some people are speaking in front of them for a moment, they will not be able to understand what the other person is saying. वो कहते हैं ना bouncer गया सब. Okay. So that is at a mental level, which is called as a mental fogging. When the mental fog is created, you cannot understand what the other person is saying. But this space that you are in right now, it is not that. Because it is not a space of the mental level. You simply asked me a question in the beginning. What happens when you experience the divine? Can you tell me what's happening to you? Okay, let me ask what not happening to you. Despite being in a state where you are not able to even understand my questions, are you quiet at your thought level? Are you fighting anything within your own self? Are you still? Can you sit with your eyes closed? Even without trying to meditate? Can you just sit there as a dry leaf? Just floating and swaying around with the gush of a wind. You are still. Let go of the worries and let go of the weight that you carry on your shoulders. Just let go. Might be for the mind, it does not find an answer because the space that you are actually touching is something that is beyond the mind. That's why there are no explanation, there are no words to define. There is no vision to see, there is nothing to experience. This is space, pure space. In this moment, I want all of you to experience one thing. If you just close your eyes and imagine or see the image of Kali standing on Shiva and her tongue protruding out. And let me give you a secret. Kali did not brought out her tongue out of awe by just looking at Shiva, but rather there is a question answer going between Shiva and Parvati. And this time Shiva is asking. Shiva is lying down on the ground as a shower because Shakti has come out of it in the form of Kali. And now Kali is standing on Shiva and Shiva as a shower lying down there and asking, where did everything of this Leela started? And that very moment, Kali protrudes the tongue out, showcasing that from this everything began. The pranava, the sound, the noise, the vibration, the frequency. Now, if that sound, that vibration, that frequency of that divine mother is moving within you, don't you feel like as if her tongue is actually roaming around within you, and now you feel that vibrational frequency where she says, you started from me, so don't worry. Relax your tongue, don't keep it tight. What happened to your breath? Are you breathing? Accept her grace, that's what I can say. Take your time to open your eyes and ask question if you have. Where did everything begin? You have not gone to any temple, you have not gone to a place of puja, you are sitting at your home. Still you are there. So what are you experiencing? Can you tell me? Words are so meaningless, so powerless.
Sorry, I'm not able to break the silence.
Uh-huh.
I'm not able to break the silence. I don't want to talk. Sorry, ma'am.
So any further questions? So the only thing that you can say now is folding your hands. You can say Narayani Stutir Nitya Kalyani Vidyadharini. It's like looking at that goddess and just saying, how can you be so graceful that understanding your grace takes a time? So as there are no other questions, I think like being it. No. So Sumaji has raised her hand anyways. Chalo. Someone raised her hand, you see. Okay. So being it the day of goddess Bagalamukhi, why don't we listen a little bit about her? So that rather than being just a Q&A session, it becomes a little bit of getting closer to her on this day. So you might have heard so many stories about her as well. Let's just close your eyes once. Om Hlim Bagalamukhi Sarvadustanam Vacham Mukham Padam Stambhaya Jivam Kilaya Buddhim Vinashaya Hlim Om Swaha. It's not about paralyzing people, it's not about paralyzing anything, but it's about bringing a calmness to the mind, bringing austerity to the mind, bringing a vairagyata within our own selves. Because there was a time when there was a great disbalance in creation. And whenever there is a disbalance in creation, there is a tremble, there is a trouble that happens. Just like so many disbalances happens in our life, so many thoughts, so many things that keeps on creating trouble for us within our own selves. It was that space where the balance of the body was not there, just like the balance of the creation was trembling. In that moment, just like the thoughts arose within our own selves, just like storms rose without direction. The winds actually roared beyond any limits. Just like we also run crazy within our own self, fighting with our own demons, fighting with our own selves. And beyond that, the water surged as if it is ready to consume everything, just like the tears of dire need and desire and wish rolls down our eyes. Everything was just like, and it was not just in that space. It was like the human mind which has lost its center. And when we lose our own self, what happens? We have a scattered thoughts, our speech become harsh and it becomes so uncontrollable, and our actions absolutely lose the wisdom that we carry in our own selves. Even the gods felt a deep disturbance for this war. That was not just a outer chaos, it was an inner disorder. And in their helplessness, the gods ran towards Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu says, like looking at the imbalance that was happening, he understood that this could not be corrected by destruction. This required a power that could stop the fight, the power that could stop the being, not just stop the fight. So, what he did is, in that moment, Lord Vishnu entered into deep meditation and in a deeper self at the sacred Haridra Sarovar, which is a very mystical space which is associated with Haridra, means haldi, the turmeric, and the yellow radiance, that Sarovar means that pond was like a mystical field of turmeric. And from that stillness of that space, a radiant golden form emerged, and that was named as Goddess Bagalamukhi. Her presence was very calm. It was not loud. It was very silent, not aggressive. She was very deeply silent. And she was so silent that even if you look at her, you will feel like as if time has stopped, time has paused. And at that time, there was a very, very powerful demon, a asura, named Madanasura. And Madanasura, through his intense penance, he had obtained a boon that whoever he spoke would become, whatever he spoke would become a reality. So whenever anybody wanted to do a war against him, he would just speak and that would happen. So slowly he began to misuse this power because whatever he spoke was happening. His words turned towards destructive speech. Instead of becoming just a speech, it became a weapon. And because of this, the creation began to suffer. And in that moment, Goddess Bagalamukhi appeared before him. But there was no battle of weapons because Madanasura would only speak and that should happen. In that war, there was no battle of weapons. The goddess simply held his tongue, and in that moment, his speech stopped. He could not speak. His power froze because all his power was there, the Vak Siddhi. His arrogance also collapsed like a dust. Madanasura immediately realized this was no ordinary force, and in that moment he surrendered and prayed. The goddess did not destroy him. Instead, the goddess just simply neutralized the destructive capacity of Madanasura. And when we look at this story at our own levels, there is a very deeper meaning that is uh, kept hidden, or in this story that should be brought into light. Because this is not just a story of a demon or a goddess. Madanasura can be like our uncontrolled mind and speech. His power is the force of thoughts and words, and Bagalamukhi can be looked at as the power that can stop this at the root of it. Whenever the mind runs wild, whenever the speech becomes impulsive, whenever words create harm, it is the goddess Bagalamukhi who is actually needed within ourselves. And there is a great secret to her. The goddess did not kill the demon. Then the question should be, why did she not kill the demon? And the answer is as beautiful as that, because Tantra, when you look at that, Tantra speaks or Tantra teaches that you are not meant to destroy your mind, you are meant to still it, you are meant to keep it silent. Because when thoughts stop, truth becomes absolutely visible in that moment. So, on this auspicious day of the worship of Goddess Bagalamukhi, whoever does the worship of this Devi, one of the most prominent goddesses of the Tasmavidyas, many people do the only worship of Goddess Bagalamukhi to destroy their enemies. But at the same time, you have to win over the enemy within you. And she is the power that stops the inner chaos that happens within our own selves. Because when you stop, when you pause, when you stop reacting, and when you are absolutely silent, you will realize the battle did not end. The need for the battle dissolved. And from there, it will begin a true peace. And whenever a true peace appears within your own self, when you are feeling happy, whenever you are just sitting, just like as you are doing right now, remember, the grace of the goddess has appeared in you. The grace of the goddess is with you. The grace of the goddess is shining on you. Jai Ma Bagalam Ki. So, as there are no further questions, it is great. We can give you some more time back and meet you all again this Sunday. The question is, shall we continue with the Tahar Vidya? Because now Tahar Vidya has something very typical coming up, a breath pattern. I'll teach you that, but at the same time, I will tell you not to do it. Especially when you are not sitting in front of me. I'll teach you, but you will not do it. With that promise only, I will teach you. So, meet you all this Sunday morning. Till then, may that grace of the divine continue on your own self. Yes, as you have some time with you, you can simply sit and chant Kleem, Kleem, the Bija mantra of Goddess Bagalamukhi. तो क्लीम का उच्चारण करते हुए जितना देर कर सको कर लो. कोई माला कोई विधि करने की जरूरत नहीं, जहां बैठे हो वहीं बैठ के ही आप अपने आप कर सकते हो. सो यू कैन डू इट. Yes, you can just simply sit and chant the mantras. Okay? Because it is a goddess mantra, need not worry, anybody can do it. So thank you everyone for your time and for your understanding and being here. Till we meet again. Aham Brahma.